Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Doctor Aphra, issue number 27 from Star Wars. All right, so let's just get into who made this comic book, and I'll talk about the book itself. Simon Spurrier is the writer. Emilio Laiso is the artist. Rachel Rosenberg did colors. Letters by VC's Joe Caramunga. Cover artist Ashley Ashley Witter. Rod Reese did the variant cover art, and that's it. Okay, so basically Dr. Aphra and what the heck is it? 000. These guys are out. They gotta, of course, stay within 20 meters of each other, something to that effect. And then they're trying to get to some place, and they've only got 10 hours before the bomb explodes. It could detonate earlier if they get with it, 20 feet or more away from each other, 20 feet, 20 meters, 20 yards, 20 decadecimal, I don't care. You get the idea. If they get too far away from each other, it's bad. So all the little things they're trying to do just aren't working, and they wind up getting themselves thrown down a pit where they meet some undesirables, and that could be anything. That could be a rusted droid, that could be an immigrant, that could be people with diseases, they could be orphans, it could be somebody with a minor infraction, even if it's a mistake on their passport, they get thrown down to the pit. So yeah, and not everybody survives in the pit because it's really hard down there. So their travels continue. Now, I really liked in the beginning how Princess Leia appeared. It's actually not Princess Leia. What are the names? Okay, the name is Dr. Cornelius Evazan. He's basically that guy who, like I said in the previous issue, when he met Luke in Episode 4, New Hope, the first Star Wars movie that was made, he's like, "You better be careful. We're wanted men." Yeah, him and his armless buddy. That's a doctor and his pal. Yeah, the doctor is wanted for doctor crimes. This is the Dr. Mandalay. So anyway, yeah, he's watching on, and he sends Pozan Von, whatever the heck this thing's name is. It's some kind of a construct. Pretty dangerous droid, which is cool. And it turns out, here's the messed up part, he's got BT-1. Yeah. That's the little astromech droid that was the partner of 000. So that's pretty interesting. And he's on his side. He's programmed to work with him. So next issue could be really fun, because oh, here's my best friend who you got killed, Dr. Aphra, and it's the main reason why I'm going to kill you now. You betrayed us. So all of this is actually pretty interesting. Here's the part that I don't like. In the previous issue, we were told that we were told that the previous issue was supposed to be a jumping on point. I tried to call it a jumping on point because it seemed pretty cool in the previous issue. It seemed like, okay, there's some things obviously that we're going to be cool. We're starting at issue 26, so it can't be a perfect jumping on point, but yeah, not too shabby at all. Yeah, no, not the case. Because when I get to this issue, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they're throwing up there. Oh, by the way, these things happen, and these things happen, and all of these things happen, and don't you want to know how they happen? We should go back and read the issues. The problem is they don't even say what the individual issues are. So I have to look at it as the subtext, the hidden subtext in there is, the fine print is, go back and buy all 25 issues. Yeah, you can't really call that a jumping on point if you need to start reading a whole bunch of other stuff the very next issue that you call the jumping on point. So I have a big problem with that. If it's a jumping on point, you should be able to go the entire that entire arc without having to read a comic book prior to it. I don't think that's really such a high standard. Excuse me. You get to the next arc, you want to start throwing in, oh, by the way, go and check out issue number 13 for such and such and such. That could work, Hell, you could be silly and say, go back and check out issue number 5. What if you were to do that? Because then somebody might say, well, shoot, I might as well go back to issue number 1, but issue number 1 will be expensive, but I can go back and get the first volume for Dr. Aphra, and I can just read that, so I'll have the first volume. And you know what? If I like it, I'll buy the second volume, and I'll buy all of the stuff, and then we're golden, right? Right. Exactly. But you don't do it in the very second issue. You do it in the second arc after you're jumping on point, but not in the second issue, man. And they don't even say where this happened. So what's the question at this point? Which one do I buy? Crap, I guess I should just buy them all. Or I just won't know what's going on now. It wasn't explained enough, and it didn't give the issue that this happened in. I have no idea what we're dealing with at this point, and I have no idea where to go back and look for this. And I'm simply not going to go back and read all 25 issues of freaking Dr. Aphra, of all things. I haven't gotten around to reading all of the back issues of a great book like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I haven't gotten the chance to go back and read those first 25 issues. And this is, look how relevant this is, the first 25 issues of Red Hood and the Outlaws, which issue number 25 and the second annual and everything that I'm reading now is freaking amazing. Red Hood Outlaw, you know? But Red Hood and the Outlaws, those first 25 issues, I haven't read those. Not a single one of those issues. Yet I really want to go back and read them. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because there's a lot of comic books out this week. I'm going to go back and read freaking Dr. Aphra all the way back to there. And especially not if I don't even know where I'm going to... Like, I might as well just stop reading this and go back and get around to reading all those at this point. And I don't think that's really what you want out of your comic book that you just hopefully got a bunch of people to jump onto. Nah, man, if you're going to claim that this is a jumping on point, I don't remember who claimed it's a jumping on point, but whoever did, epic fail, son. Epic fail. You do not claim something is jumping on point if we're going to have to go back and start looking at other stuff also, because that's not a jumping on point. That's just the next issue. That is the big problem that I have with this comic book, with this particular issue. Not cool, man. Like, you basically bold, stone-faced lied and said, oh, it's a jumping on point. Because no, it wasn't. It barely felt like a jumping on point. It's just there wasn't, a whole lot of reference to go back and read this, and that. But in this very next issue, this issue right here, part 2 of this jumping on point arc, nah, man. I'm already lost. And that's just not cool, bud. Boo. That's just not cool, bud. So, yeah. I'm kind of interested in seeing the next issue because, again, I only know who BT1 is because of Vader Down, that 6-issue limited series. They could have referenced back to something there, but there was at least one reference, if not two. I think there was 2 references in here that didn't even say where to go back and look. Just, oh, this happened. Yeah, not cool with that. Not cool with that at all. Anyway, judge for yourself. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.